Ms. Hare?
Mr. President, we recessed out of executive session at 7:14 PM, discussing contract negotiations and taking no action, so we reconvene to the Finance Committee, and I move to adjourn.
Second?
Clerk, please call. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carries. Okay, at this time, I'd like to call the March 9th, 2026 council meeting to order. If you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Hare,
Here.
Isabella,
Here.
Lamb,
Here.
Simmons,
Here.
Simpson, Coin,
Here.
DeSalvo.
Here.
Reading of the minutes.
Mr. President,
Ms. Hare?
I move that the minutes from the meeting on February 23rd, 2026, as prepared and submitted by the Clerk of Council, be approved.
Second?
Discussion on the minutes? Will the clerk please call the roll on the approval of the minutes?
Isabella,
Yes.
Lamb,
Yes.
Simmons,
Yes.
Coin,
Yes.
DeSalvo,
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Reports of standing committees. The Finance Committee met prior to council this evening and will meet again in 2 weeks. Most of the items on the agenda come from the Finance meeting. Health, Safety, and Public Properties, Ms. Hare.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have nothing to report and have no meeting scheduled at this time.
Special Legislation, Mrs. DeSalvo.
Thank you, Mr. President. We had a special legislation informational meeting today about regarding the deer population. No action was taken. We will be having another meeting for any of the audience who would like to join us on the 23rd at 5 o'clock, where we will be getting some information from Mentor and Parma on their deer remediation, how theirs works, and we'll go from there. Thank you.
Thank you. Streets and Sidewalks, Mr. Isabella.
No meetings yet and nothing to report.
Water and Utilities, Mr. Simmons.
Thank you, Mr. President. No meeting scheduled and nothing to report.
Emerging Technologies, Mr. Lamb.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have nothing to report, but I have a meeting scheduled for Emerging Technologies on this coming Thursday, March 12th at 5 o'clock.
Thank you. Requests for council action. We have several for the Finance Committee. We have 2655, amend 13301, Association memberships for the police. 2656, expenditure to I2C Technologies for the police. 2657, an MOU for the Medina County Transit Services. 2658, purchase of two 2026 F-150 pickup trucks for the Water Department. 2659, budget amendments. 2660, fiscal year 27 congressionally directed spending CDS grant requests. 2661, Medina Municipal Court change order number 2, amend ordinance 2326. 2662, accept easements for South Huntington Street Bridge. 2663, increase expenditure for American Fireworks for the Parks and General Administration. 2664, implement Roth 457 option for employees and authorize agreement. And finally, 2665, general liability insurance renewal. Reports of municipal officers. Mayor Shields.
Thank you, Mr. Coyne. A couple updates for council. I wanted to start on Thursday, February 26th at the Second Baptist Church. The church held the annual Black History program featuring the Claggett Middle School Choir and a narration on Porter's Shoe Shop and the related family businesses presented by our own Medina TV's Miles Reed. Miles did an amazing job. I wanted to let council know Mrs. Porter and her family members were in attendance and thanked both the city and specifically wanted me to thank City Council for all of our help when we moved Porter's to the new location from this current location. She just said how well and how much she appreciated everything council had done for her at the time. But it was a great evening. The Claggett Choir was amazing, and Miles did such a nice job talking about the Porters, and it was nice to hear about Black history at the local level. So, on Thursday, March 5th, Mayor Dennis Hanwell was honored with the Medina County Excellence in Leadership Award for his 26 years of service with the Medina Police Department and 16 years of service as mayor for a total of 42 years of service to the city of Medina. Mayor Hanwell's deep commitment to public safety, community collaborations, and thoughtful governance was celebrated. several of us from City Hall, as well as his family, were able to celebrate with him, and I just wanted to let everybody know that the mayor had won that award that night from Leadership Medina County. It's the highest honored Leadership Medina County awards. And then tonight I have two proclamations, so I'm going to do those one at a time here, but if I could, let me start with my first one here. Jared, is that working? Is it picking it up, Jared? Yeah. Okay. All right. At this time, I would like to ask Marianne Chiara and Louis De Jesus to come on up. And I wanted to let all of you know that March is Athletic Trainer Recognition Month. There's 45,000 athletic trainers nationwide, 3,000 athletic trainers here in Ohio. And from my own personal experience, I can tell you we have two phenomenal, excellent Cleveland Clinic sports medicine trainers located at Medina High School that takes care of our students and athletes. They handle important services such as concussion protocols, rehab services, and any other emergencies that the students would need during any of our sporting events. So, Marianne and Louis, on behalf of the city of Medina, we want you to know that Medina recognizes March as athletic trainer, and I want to present this proclamation to you both and have you share a few words about the great job you do for our students at Medina High School.
All right, well, thank you guys. I'm going to, pardon my reading off here, but I want to, first off, start by thanking Mayor Jim Shields, to Tracy Eckert, who helped us to arrange this, and to the city council members for the honor and the opportunity. I think that I can speak for both of us, Medina athletic trainers, saying that we generally do not enjoy to be in the center of attention. We generally just don't like to be in the spotlight. We would much rather prefer our typical roles being the healthcare providers behind the scenes and allowing our student athletes to shine in the spotlight, doing what they love to do. However, we believe that National Athletic Training Month is a perfect opportunity to help bring awareness to the community and general public about our chosen profession and who we are and what we do. We hope that this proclamation helps to bring that awareness. We would also like to thank Medina City Schools, administrators, the athletic department, and mostly to the parents of our Medina students who entrust us with the care of their student athletes. We couldn't do our jobs without this community, so we thank you again for this recognition.
Connie, Mr. Mason, Scott.
Come on, buddy.
Mr. Mason, come on.
You're being called up by the mayor. Come on.
Okay, our second proclamation tonight. If I could ask Chef Tony Stanzalo to come up from the Medina County Career Center. Mr. Hicks, do you want to join him or do you want to take pictures? Okay. We have Jeff Hicks, who's the principal of the Career Center as well. I'm very proud this evening to talk about one of Medina County's greatest assets, and it's located right here in the city of Medina. Last month, I had the incredible experience of attending the 25th From the Heart Scholarship Dinner put on by the Chef and Restaurant Program at the Career Center. Joining me this evening is Tony Stanzalo, otherwise known by his superstar celebrity chef name as Chef Tony. This annual fundraising dinner over the last 24 years has provided 90 scholarships to students amounting to over $320,000 in financial support. The guests, the donors, and all the chef and restaurant students put their everything into making this the perfect event. However, the one constant in this event's success over 25 years is this incredible instructor and wonderful man, Chef Tony. On behalf of the City of Medina, please accept this proclamation in celebration of the 25th anniversary From the Heart Scholarship Dinner, and thank you for all you do for the Career Center and your students, and for making Medina proud here with your restaurant program. Thank you, Chef Tony. I will tell you that I presented this to Tony at the dinner, but then I found out Brunswick invited him to council. And I thought, okay, Brunswick wasn't going to upstage us with our own Medina County Career Center located in the city. So I made Tony come through this for a second time. We're very proud to have you here, Tony. And I want you to talk for a little minute about what results were from this year's dinner.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you. So yeah, this year we had a sellout, which for this year's numbers was 380 guests. That's a lot at a high school. We had three different seatings. Each of those had about 125 guests. So it's a lot. And then you take the teenagers and ask them to serve a 4-course meal. It's pretty impressive stuff. I do have graduates that come to help, but they're just a support role. So financially speaking, which is really impressive, I shared this with the students today actually. Overall numbers, we brought in $50,000. There's some food costs that come out of that and some other costs, so we're going to profit about $30,000. Last year I gave 6 scholarships at $5,000 each, so that kind of is a nice little break even there. We have a surplus from all these years, so I can continue doing the scholarship for everybody. It's just been really super amazing to do this for these guys and keep having the success and the following. I was told when we started this, listen, after 10 years, you're just going to have to give up. It's going to fade out. And so now it's so really cool to have it for 25 years. And yeah, I hope it doesn't go away.
How quickly does it sell out then?
So that's, the middle seating is the most popular. So it's 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 8 o'clock. The 6 o'clock seating sold out in 18 hours. Gone. All the seats were done. I couldn't do anything. And it's my big followers. They know what to look for. They jump on. It's an online reservation process, and they just, I couldn't even get the mayor in at 6 o'clock. I had to give him 4 o'clock seating. So, yes, ma'am. Well, you have to follow Chef Tony on Facebook, or I do have a weekly email group that people sign up to through the school, but it's my email address, and so they follow, because the restaurant's open 3 days a week. That's where my main following is, but then the other people know how to follow that. So that's a great question. Wasn't doing Q&A the whole time, but thank you.
Well, in case you can't get to this dinner because it's so popular and he's got his regulars, again, he mentioned Wednesday, Thursday, Friday during the school year. You can come and experience the restaurant program and have the students wait on you, prepare the food. Just an amazing lunch and a really good experience. So thank you, Chef Tony, for all that you do. You make Medina proud. Thank you, Council. That completes my report.
So I'm going to interrupt here and say congratulations to Chef Tony, Louie, and Mary Ann. And on a personal note, Louie was the athletic trainer when my daughters were in high school at Medina. And Mary Ann Chiara was actually one of my varsity lacrosse players when I was coaching at Brunswick High School for all 4 years. And it's always so nice to see one of your athletes do so well and be successful. So congratulations.
Thank you. Mr. Durham, Director of Finance.
Thank you, Mr. President. I will vouch for the Career Center's restaurant. I was out there last week for lunch and ran into Greg. So they have a very good lunch. The City of Medina, as most of you know, is an America 250 community. We're doing a lot of events for this. Councilman Simmons and I have our pins on. I have my shirt. So Saturday after next, they have the Glitz and Glamour in the White House Luncheon, and there's events throughout the year for that. I wanted to mention, because I sent council a memo on potential impact of the talk of property tax with this going on, so I sent you a memo because I wanted to let you know what that would mean for us. And then there's a couple items on the agenda that we will, that came from finance, I'll address when we get there.
Thank you. Mr. Huber, Law Director.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report.
Mrs. Marshall, Economic Development Director.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a couple items to note for council this evening. Friday, March 20th is our next ribbon cutting day, and we have 2 events scheduled. The first one is at 11 a.m. for Legacy Insurance Advisors. This is a new business that located in the 225 East Liberty Street building in Suite 106. And then the next one's at 3 o'clock, which is Mindful Mercantile, a new business that located within the Common Ground at 220 North State Road, unit number 43. The ribbon cuttings are a collaboration with the Chamber of Commerce and Main Street Medina, so we hope that you'll be able to join us. And then the second item to note is I did receive a call from the state of Ohio last week about our ODOD Brownfield Assessment Grant. They are in their final reviews, and they wanted to modify my request. I know, right? And I was trying to get out of them, like, well, how much of a modification? So just a little bit. They didn't give me a number yet, but I'm remaining hopeful that we will get this grant, and I will keep council posted. Thank you.
Thank you. Lieutenant Markham, Police Department.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report.
Stan Sheets, you're over there. No, I'm just- Mr. Gladys, Building Official.
Thank you, Mr. President. The building department is off to a very busy start to the first quarter of the year. We have 12 commercial projects underway. 8 of the larger projects include Target's interior alteration, Starbucks new building, Medina Metro Housing, Northville Manor Independent Senior Living Facility, that's a complete interior alteration, Medina County Career Center, their health and pre-nursing program, it's an interior alteration project. The Medina County Career Center Construction Trade Academy, this is a new standalone building. 5 Below's interior alteration to a vacant storefront in the Medwick Plaza. This is the same plaza where Myers Grocery Store is located. The owner of the 2 wings of the plaza is seeing a lot of activity now since Myers is in there. So he's got a number of national tenants that he's working with right now for some of the other vacant spaces. Dunkin' Donuts is going to be an interior alteration. The Legacy Hotel Event Center, that's the new standalone building that's going to be located behind the new hotel. That project started in February. 3 are finishing up. 3, we are just finishing up with the plan approval process. 5 are approved and construction has started on 3. Total investment into the community is $22.3 million. This ends my report.
Thank you. Mr. Dutton, Planning and Community Development Director.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report.
Thank you. Mr. Bacoli, Service Director.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report this evening.
Thank you. Mr. Worley, Parks and Recreation Center Director.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just an update for the public. About a week and a half ago, our registration software was down for numerous days at the rec center. We worked through those issues with the vendor. I want to commend our staff for working hard to figure out a way to keep us running, accepting day passes and memberships the old-fashioned way, and reconciling those reports after our system got operational. A number of our programs registration were delayed, including our summer camps. Those registrations are now active, and we have a lot of new options for this year. So visit us at medinarec.org and check out the programs. Thank you.
Thank you. Chief Walters, Fire Department.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report.
Thank you. Next item we have is confirmation of mayor's appointment. We have 1 confirmation, Linda Long, for the Charter Review Committee, mayor's appointment for a term expiring 12/31/30.
Move to approve?
Second?
Any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll on the confirmation of mayor's appointment.
Lamb.
Yes.
Simmons.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Isabella.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Notices, communications, petitions. We have 1, a liquor permit not to object to the issuance of a new D5L permit to Conrique Valdez LLC, Casa Conrique, 111 West Liberty Street, Medina.
Move to approve?
Second?
Any discussion? Modify your motion and move not to object.
Okay, not to object?
Second, not to object.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Simmons.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Isabella.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Unfinished business, we don't have any. Introduction of visitors. Members of the public who are permitted the opportunity to speak on any issue or concern which pertains to the city during the portion of the council agenda devoted to introduction of visitors. All comments shall be directed to the chair, and a reasonable time limit of approximately 5 minutes will be imposed. If there's a group, please appoint a spokesperson. Speakers should approach the rear microphone and state their name and address so it can be entered into the minutes. Members of the public will be afforded the opportunity to comment on other portions of the meeting as determined by the chair or by a vote of the majority of council members present. As it looks out there, it looks like we have a lot of people today. I was just hoping that you guys just come because you want to come to council meetings. You know, we have these every 2 weeks. So if you want to come every 2 weeks, this will be awesome. But at this time, is there anybody that wishes to address council at this time? If you can line up in the back there, you can just kind of circulate as you go through.
Did you tell people they can't go?
No, they got to go. Oh, you guys can go. You guys can leave, I guess. That's okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, just state your name and address so it'll be entered in the minutes.
Hi. My name is Lucas Wagner, 808 Gates Mills Boulevard, Medina, Ohio, 44256. We want ice in Medina. That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Next person?
Hi, good evening, City Council members. My name is Kathy Jones from 2606 Hidden Spring Lane, Wadsworth, Ohio. I imagine that most of you have gotten the folders that I gave to John Coyne on February 25th that had information with the resolutions and the laws that pertain to the resolutions. So I hope you've had time to review them. And I'll just say a few words here then. So I appreciate this opportunity to be allowed to speak to you and asking you to to have a resolution to oppose these bills. I'd like to begin by reading you a quick statement by Lynn Tremonti. She's Executive Director of the Ohio Immigration Alliance. People move. It's a part of life as old as time, as basic as breathing. But the U.S. immigration laws have been written through scapegoating and not sensible debate. They aren't logical and don't work the way they did over a century ago when her relatives came to this country. They also do not work the way most people they should or want them to. And I myself am a first generation on my mother's side and my grandparents. And when they arrived in the United States, they brought energy, a strong work ethic, strong family, and so much more, just like the immigrants today do. The immigrants we have in the city of Medina and the county of Medina are doing the same thing. They're making Medina a better place to live and educating all of us who listen to their other world values. Medina should be a place where a stranger is welcomed and where we love our neighbors and resist those who hate them. My question to you is, who is ICE really saving? It's not the children. They won't be safe with ICE entering their schools. It's not the people on the streets who ICE deems as suspects and sends them to detention centers or disappears them to another country. As myself, I'm an immigration, I'm a court monitor at the immigration court in Cleveland at the federal court. And I see these detainees that have been pulled off the street every week when I'm up there. Most of them have no offenses, criminal or civil. They're just here, they've been working, they have families, they have homes, they have jobs, and they help the communities they live in. And it's the same with our immigrants here in Medina County. We're lucky we have immigrants. They help build our city and our county and make it a better place. Let me just finish here. The people in the hospitals and mental facilities won't be safe either, and they'll be afraid to take their children to the hospital. And it's just not okay to target U.S. citizens just because of how they look or the color of their skin. You all know that these laws pertaining to these bills violate the U.S. Constitution, including the Fourth Amendment and the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment, and also home rule provisions under the Ohio Constitution. As the Cleveland City Council stated, these laws are meant to bully and intimidate local government entities into compliance. So with that, I respectfully request that you oppose House Bills 26, 42, and 281, and Ohio Senate Bill 172. Ohio is home to all of us. And if you remain silent on these bills, then you are complicit. And thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you.
Good evening. Pat Walker, 523 East Friendship Street in the city. I urge council to enter a resolution opposing House Bill 2642, 281, and Senate Bill 172. They are unconstitutional, but also they are an unfunded mandate. House Bill 26 requires the police department to identify anyone that they think has reasonable cause that they're not in the United States lawfully, and to then report that to Immigration and Customs Enforcement. The problem with this for the city particularly is it would require additional manpower. It also would require expenses. It's an unfunded mandate. Also, how in the world is our police department going to determine whether or not there's reasonable cause that someone's in the United States unlawfully? Being in the United States unlawfully is not a criminal act. It is a civil violation. Now, if someone has committed a crime, then obviously that is the jurisdiction of the police department, and they should be arrested and be reported. There's another bill that applies, House Bill 42, which mandates that the police department ascertain the citizenship status of each person they arrest. Now, I can tell you, I am a patent and trademark lawyer. I have no clue on immigration. I can't imagine that our police department has an idea how to determine the citizenship status of each arrestee. I think that the law department of the city of Medina, if this is passed, will have to learn immigration law. This is an unfunded mandate, and it requires an annual report to ICE, and the other bill, HB 26, requires an annual report to the Ohio Attorney General. And if the Attorney General determines that the city of Medina does not comply, then the city of Medina may lose state funds. The Ohio legislature has not given any additional money to the cities to enforce these laws. This will cause a burden to the city. And these bills, if passed, apply even if ICE does not come to Medina. So I urge the council to enter a resolution opposing House Bill 26, 42, 281, and Senate Bill 172. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nola Lothair, 3425 Forest Lake Drive, Medina. And I'd like to come back here more often, but I'm disabled, and I think you need to get some stools. So, you know, when we stand up here, that we can stand longer. So, I am in support of the emergency resolution to oppose Ohio Bills 26, 42, 281, and Senate Bill 172. The bills force all local governments and police to cooperate with federal immigration enforcement and punish cities that refuse to do so. Schools and hospitals would no longer be safe spaces. People suspected of being undocumented could be detained. That, of course, means anyone who is not white or speaks with an accent. Or as we witnessed in Minneapolis, it could include the murder of American citizens. I was born and raised in Brunswick, Ohio, where my family settled in 1836. I am what white nationalists call a, quote, blood and soil citizen. I have the, quote, right, ancestral bloodline and historic ties to land, to be one of the most legitimate members of the nation, according to white nationalists. My mother's family were direct descendants of the Mayflower, and my father's family was requested by John Winthrop, who was the head of the 13 colonies, to come here from England in 1632. I am what Trump, Stephen Miller, J.D. Vance, Russell Vogt, and other members of the Heritage Foundation espouse as the ideal inhabitant of this country. I have more blood and soil DNA than any of those aspiring heritage people. But I think their views are disgusting, cruel, racist, and un-American. This is a well-known ploy to break our democracy and institute an autocracy. The majority of historians and experts in authoritarian regimes teach us how authoritarian strongmen admonish the other people. Hitler, Mussolini, Stalin, Putin, and others, including Trump, other dictators, select vulnerable groups and publicly scold them, portray them as dangerous or morally inferior in order to unify supporters and justify harsher government control. The authoritarian playbook delineates how to publicly shame them as criminals and parasites. They garner the media support to amplify how they undermine our safety, job growth, and national identity. They claim a need for order that can only be restored by the dear leader and his ICE Gestapo. They increase surveillance, detention, deportation, police expansion in a chaotic manner to unite us against this enemy and create utter confusion to distract from their government takeover. They pass federal, state, and local laws to justify and codify this insanity. Today, it's undocumented people. Who is it tomorrow? Are you safe because you're white, Republican, or you live in Medina? Maybe not. Many undocumented people live in Medina County. They are fearful and hiding. As in other communities, they contribute to a strong work participation, improve the economy, become entrepreneurs, provide stability to the community, and contribute to our democratic, pluralistic culture through their resilience and determination. Research demonstrates that undocumented people do not commit more crimes, take our jobs, vote illegally, or abuse our safety net services. It is time to say no more to the people who promote this ruse. The attack on our democracy and the authoritarian takeover is not a fight between Democrats and Republicans, liberals and conservatives, or the right and left. It is about democracy versus an authoritarian takeover. It's time to inform yourself about what's going on. The information is not found on Fox News or in other legacy media outlets that are corporately owned and beholden to the authoritarian regime. Start reading about the history of authoritarianism and the decades-old authoritarian playbook. Council members, I am requesting you to stand on the side of constitutional democracy. You are the bulwark to stop this. Our city should not participate in policies that divide our neighbors. And then to the rest of the fellow citizens, one more thing. It's time to do something besides business as usual. And unless you're sure that you are not part of the other. Thank you.
Thank you. Ma'am?
Jacqueline Pfister, 10168 Sanford Road, Lodi, Ohio, 44254. My first council meeting. I'm just an ordinary housewife. I love the radio. Jake Underwood brought me here today. We are a nation of laws. We live in a small portion of our nation and are fortunate to live here. Sometimes it's unwise to be complacent. I have empathy for those who are here illegally, but they are breaking our immigration laws and should be returned to their country of origin to try again through legal channels. In 1955, my husband and his family came to this country from Europe. They had to have a sponsor, to have work, and they went to work the next day after they arrived here. They had $7 in their pocket, and they thrived and they prospered. Let's not turn our country or our towns or our state into a Minnesota. ICE is a legal, legitimate department of our government. We should support them with our local and state law enforcement agencies, and life will be much smoother. Stay involved with your local and state representatives. Make your opinion known, as people have done already, and I don't want to become like New York City, Los Angeles, or Minneapolis.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir?
My name is James Lawrence. I live at 1131 Hillview Way, Medina, Ohio. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak. I'm currently a junior in high school, and tonight I come to oppose the emergency resolution that the members of community have brought to call for not passage of House Bill 2642, 281, and Ohio Senate Bill 172. So before I did my research on these bills, and I have copies of the bills if anybody in the community or the members of the board would like to read them. And so let's go through some of the claims. So Ohio House Bill 26, Section 9631, Part B outlines that law enforcement agencies shall do. All it says is that the law enforcement agency participants in the program set up by the Department of Homeland Security to provide information about an arrest. It also gives permission for these groups to arrest those who have reason to believe that they are illegal aliens, detain an illegal alien upon federal request until they are in federal custody. Other than that, this bill outlines the penalty process in which it goes through the county auditor and other county officials after being referred to by a state rep to the attorney general, and then once it's in the county hands, it can go back to the attorney general's office or stay within the county. So the claim that this is some bill to take away your freedoms and to harm U.S. citizens is not true. It's only targeting illegal aliens, which have violated the law coming into this country. Ohio House Bill 42 amends Section 3301.0714 to provide information about immigration status in the state of Ohio. Section 2965.01 discusses law enforcement agencies, the number of people detained in previous years who were citizens or nationals of the United States, the number of people detained in previous years who were not citizens or nationals in the United States but were lawfully present in the United States. The number of people detained previously who were unlawfully present in the United States, in which later sections, and I can provide those at a later time, I have them here, which have the exact same rules, but instead of this being local law enforcement, it's the Department of Rehabilitation and Correction, the Department of Education and Workforce, and then certain public schools, and the County Department of Job and Family. So what they're doing with Ohio House Bill 42 is making sure that we're finding out where these illegal immigrants are so that it's not just a stop on the side of the street and arresting you, which will actually decrease the in some cases, the arresting of citizens who have then been released. And then House Bill 281, so basically this requires the individuals within hospitals to allow access for law enforcement and ICE to do this, in which case they have to show who they are and proof of their employment in an agency to either the healthcare worker or the agency head, and that is determined later on in the law. It shows that, or it states that each hospital gets to come up with their own policy, and along with this, they also have to show who they are going after clear and explicitly, and that is only for federal law or federal immigration enforcement. And then getting to Senate Bill 172, this just basically says that no public official or governing body can stop ICE from going in and detaining someone, which most law enforcement agencies do have the right to go in and detain someone. And so overall, these bills are going to protect ICE and federal agents by allowing cooperation so illegal aliens can be deported with lower law enforcement getting in the way. This is what Texas has, who has the largest deportation operations, and you have not heard a single thing come out of Texas on the mainstream media. Stopping fraud and the waste of taxpayer money should be stopped at all levels and investigated when suspected, and the mass influx of illegal immigration has only made the fraud problem worse. I urge you to not pass this resolution, and again, I have these bills if you would like to look at for them yourself. Thank you.
Thank you. Ma'am?
I'm Pauline Chapman at 7328 Worcester Pike in Seville, Ohio, and I'm here to say I want this resolution done for this House Bill 2642, 281, and 172. I don't want ICE in my community. I don't want them scaring people. I don't want another Minnesota or, in other cases, Washington, California. I think they're unlawful. They're masked. Who knows? Crooks are masked, not normal people who want to arrest someone. He's not masked. Why should they be masked? And I don't think it's right that we target people just because of their color. Thank you.
Thank you. Who's next back there? I can't even see anybody. There's got to be a line back there. Ma'am?
Good evening, President Coyne, members of the council, and Mayor Shields. I am here to urge continued cooperation between our law enforcement and federal immigration authorities. Specifically, I urge this council to reject any emergency resolutions opposing House Bills 2642, 281, and Senate Bill 172. While neighboring cities like Akron and Cleveland prioritize political statements, I ask Medina to remain a leader in regional security and legal consistency. These bills are common sense tools for public safety. One of my primary concerns is what has been called the magnet effect that occurs when a city openly advertises its opposition to federal enforcement. If we publicly announce that we are opposed to cooperation with ICE, we risk becoming a destination for those seeking to evade federal authorities. We should not volunteer Medina to be a refuge for individuals deported multiple times or wanted for serious crimes. Our priority must be the safety of the citizens who are currently living here. We cannot ignore the reality in the Northern District of Ohio. This past winter, Operation Buckeye resulted in over 280 arrests across our state, focusing on individuals with violent felonies. Over 15% of those arrested in this surge were repeat offenders who had been previously deported and returned to commit further crimes within our state. These criminals use our regional corridors, including the highways through Medina, to move drugs and evade detection. Furthermore, Senate Bill 172 ensures our schools are not used as sanctuaries for those evading the law. We saw the necessity of this recently when a 24-year-old adult posed as a high school student for over a year in Perrysburg, Ohio. I have handouts and I have some examples of Operation Buckeye, and I have this individual's name highlighted if you wish to have that handout. Our schools must be a safe place for our children, not for evasion. Immigration enforcement is about legal status and criminal conduct, not identity. When law enforcement targets those who enter the country illegally, the demographics will naturally reflect the population here without authorization. This isn't a skin color issue. It is a statistical reality of who is currently violating federal law. We must prioritize the safety of all legal residents by ensuring violent offenders are removed regardless of who they are. When officials declare certain laws unwelcome, it sends a message that laws are suggestions, not mandates. This creates a culture of selective obedience that erodes police authority and hurts officer morale. We pay taxes to the city and elected officials to speak on our behalf and uphold our laws. Additionally, while our Constitution provides basic fairness and due process of an American citizen, it is not the same as the administrative process for those who have come here illegally. Citizenship is a privilege and must be respected. Finally, our own country's leadership. Last month, the commissioners stood firm and declined to pass these same resolutions. They recognize there is no emergency justifying the obstruction of federal law. If Medina City joins the opposition bloc, such in conjunction with Akron and Cleveland, we risk federal funds being withheld and attract the very criminal elements that the federal enforcement is trying to remove. I ask this council to follow the lead of the county commissioners, keep Medina safe, consistent with the law, and reject any resolution that hampers our partnership with federal authorities. Thank you.
Thank you.
You want me to do it on the microphone?
Sir?
Clinton Braden, 4783 Stockbridge Drive, Medina, Ohio. Good evening. The resolution currently in proposition to be passed would oppose House Bills 26, 42, 281, and Senate Bill 152. The bills mentioned are supportive towards allowing the government to do its job in arresting undocumented aliens residing in the borders of Ohio. The bills themselves do not infringe on civil rights or liberties, and they support creating a safer and better environment for us all to live in. Along with this, the proposed bills support an agency that has done far more good than harm for our country. I urge you all to oppose this resolution. To begin, many are opposed to these bills on the basis that they infringe on civil liberties. And however, this is simply not the case. These specific bills, for the most part, are about allowing Immigration and Customs Enforcement to collect data on the citizenship status of government employees, prevent state and local meddling in the activities of a federal agency, allow agents to more easily arrest undocumented immigrants without local or state police interference, and allow agents into certain federal buildings previously inaccessible to arrest illegal immigrants. None of these things go against civil rights or liberties at all. All they are doing is just letting a lawful agency conduct their operations without interference through local and state governments. Shouldn't this be the standard anyway? There is a precedent in the United States that the federal government has power over the state government, which has power over the local governments. This should not be a controversial opinion, as it has been widely accepted in the United States ever since the Civil War. Furthermore, another counterpoint often used is that ICE itself is a morally unjust and evil organization. This is not true in the slightest. ICE itself protects and improves the lives of Americans through increasing both safety and providing better opportunities for American citizens and legal immigrants. I'm sure that we have all heard things about Laken Riley, but I want to tell you the story of another very recent event that happened back in January, actually, and that the majority of you I have probably never heard of. In the state of Georgia, an undocumented immigrant named Kenneth Moreno Guzman broke into a family's home and held a 10-year-old girl at knife point. This already sounds awful enough, but while he was holding her at knife point, he forced her to watch as he violently raped her 11-year-old sister. Despite this being an example on the more extreme end, if this illegal immigrant was never able to get into the country, this type of thing would never have happened in the first place. There are many other examples of this, from killings, rapings, burglaries, and many other crimes committed by undocumented aliens inside of the United States. We want to prevent this from happening as much as possible in the state of Ohio. ICE is a good agency, and without them, stuff like this would happen far more frequently. Illegal immigrants also cause a reduction in wages for people that are already struggling the most, along with taking up taxpayer dollars and usages of welfare and other services to that like. According to the Center for Immigration Studies, the bottom 11% of American workers are impacted by illegal immigration. This is due to the fact that owners can and do pay illegal immigrants far less than they do legal immigrants or Americans. The wage reduction has caused a loss of an estimated $13 billion every year for this group that is already struggling. Shouldn't we be giving them relief by deporting illegal immigrants instead of making their struggling lives even harder? Along with this, illegal immigrants suck up jobs that could be higher paying in many industries. In the agricultural industry, 11.5% of all jobs are from illegal Mexican immigrants alone. These jobs could be given to Americans, but instead they are given to people who cut the line to come here illegally and are being exploited and used for extremely cheap labor. Illegal immigrants harm the lives of already impoverished Americans through taking jobs that could be taken by them. Next, there is the argument of the morality of the ICE agency itself. Many people agree with the motives of ICE, but not the methods. However, the vast majority of the time, ICE has been good. Has ICE made some mistakes? Yes, there have been some very bad and tragic mistakes. However, this should not overshadow the vast majority of good work ICE has done. Thanks to ICE, there have been almost 3 million total deportations, including self-deportations, which has definitely prevented crime and stolen jobs. This has made the country itself a far better place. Don't get me wrong, ICE is definitely not perfect. It does make mistakes, but in its entirety, it is not an evil or immoral organization. I urge you all to oppose this resolution that goes against creating a safer and better life for the citizens of Medina.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Pam Miller, 450 Woodland Drive, City of Medina. Council President Coyne, I'm here tonight to urge Medina City Council to join Akron, Cleveland, and other Ohio cities in expressing your opposition to the four laws that have been discussed earlier tonight. Passage of these bills will burden local governments with enforcing federal immigration law, something that has never been the responsibility of our local police departments. These bills are legislative overreach, one more effort on the part of Ohio legislators to erode home rule. Our Medina Police Department has been a leader in building community trust, in working with residents to provide a safe community. These bills open the door to racial profiling, wrongful arrests, and a complete erosion of public trust. This is dangerous to the residents of Medina as well as to our police officers. Why would we want to make people fear our local law enforcement officials? These unfunded mandates will end up costing the city, straining our resources, and likely leading to lawsuits and financial liabilities. They are unconstitutional and will change the face of local law enforcement irrevocably. Additionally, House Bill 281 would force our hospitals to allow ICE agents into their facilities. Doctors and nurses should be focused on patient care, not agents of immigration. Surely we all agree that Medina Hospital must remain a safe place for anyone seeking life-saving healthcare services, and that no person should forgo care because they are afraid to go to the hospital. Medina is a community that has worked hard to be inclusive and welcoming. Our shops and restaurants and other businesses employ many people who are new to this country, who don't speak English as their first language. Medina area employees and their employers should not have to bear the culture of fear and distrust that these draconian bills will foster. In this 250th year of our nation's founding, I implore you to stand up for the United States Constitution, for the Fourth Amendment, and for the dream of our founders to protect our unalienable rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Keith Davey, 990 Shorewood Drive, Ward 2. My wife and I oppose the passage of this legislation tonight, of this resolution. Certainly, there's no need for an emergency passage of this, and there's no reason it can't go 3 readings like other resolutions and ordinances. It's certainly not an emergency. And councils that try to throw resolutions on the docket to pass by emergency without 3 readings are the kind of councils that like to slip stuff past the residents before they get a chance to come and speak on it. I get offended by councils, quite honestly, in any any city. I came from one that did this, and that passed resolutions that really are just virtue signaling to your voter base. It's not needed. This resolution, if you guys pass it tonight, will send the wrong message to everybody else in the state of Ohio that we're encouraging people that want to break the law to come here. Not just this law, but any other law. And it has no part of Medina City Council passing any kind of virtue signaling resolution. I ask you tonight to please either go to 3 readings on this so the rest of the city can come up and talk about it, or just vote it no, that we don't want to attract non-law-abiding citizens to this community. I will also say that the complacency of the conservative residents of the city stops tonight. We're going to keep an eye on what you guys do, and I can guarantee if you guys pass this tonight, guys and ladies, I promise that at your next election you will have a credible and well-financed challenger. And if we got to go through 7 people and get things done the way we want to, we'll do it. So thank you. Please don't pass this on emergency tonight.
Thank you. And I just want to clarify, there's nothing on the agenda, but we do appreciate your comments.
Hi, my name is Laura Lane, 34 Squires Court, Medina. I did not prepare anything. I didn't even know about this until a little while ago. So I could be as eloquent as the first gentleman that came and said, we want ICE in Medina because we do want law-abiding citizens here. We want to keep the people that are here safe. Secondly, by becoming a sanctuary city, we are not only attracting just regular under-the-table workers, or whatever you want to call that, but we're also attracting child trafficking and human trafficking to our area. I don't agree with that at all. Thirdly, there is a right way and a wrong way to enter this country, and if you were to go into any other country illegally, you'd be jailed. Mexico, I believe it's 2 years. I don't have all the figures. Like I said, I didn't prepare anything or know anything about this. Sorry. So I oppose the resolution, and please, if ICE comes to Medina, we would like the support of the police. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Danielle, 3993 Earhart Road, Medina. I too just found out about this and am not prepared, but I will say these few things. We want ICE. We love Medina. We love the safety of this county. I want to keep it that way. I don't want to, I'm not against immigrants. I'm against them coming in the wrong way. If they come through the border and they apply for citizenship, then they say they want to be part of us. But if they're sneaking across the border, then they're sneaking. I mean, it's just like a kid going to a store and stealing something. You might not get caught, but you know you did something wrong. So if somebody comes up to you a day later or a week later, you know you were wrong. So don't be, I know I've heard some of the people say that they have families, they have jobs, they have kids. Just because you did something over here and you ignored it, and then you kept adding on to it, doesn't mean that makes that go away. You have to get caught sometime. So I know we might not have the funding or for the mandates to the extracurricular for the cops to do their thing and to, all the whatever. We need to make the money because we don't have the money for Medicare, Medicaid, stolen Social Security numbers, cards, Social Security number, monthly payments, millions, billions of dollars that have gone this route. We don't want that here in this community. We don't. So we want ICE. That's all I have to say. All it takes.
How many more people are back there? I can't see.
Just two.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Jake Underwood, 602 West 130th. I know nothing's been introduced yet, and I know that this is really just an idea, but I wanna remind everybody, and first of all, thank you for letting us speak on this. I wanna remind everybody of the standard that this will set. You know, if hypothetically something like this goes through, what other laws, and I'm not talking about in the near future, but what other laws are we going to ignore 5, 10, 15 years from now because we decided to ignore these laws? We decided to stand up against this. What other things are we going to ignore because we find them inconvenient to our emotions in the moment? That's all, Medina has done such an incredible job overall. People here are happy. They're able to live their lives. Great opportunities here. I don't want to see one law get ignored, and then in 5 years another, and then another, and then another, and then we're lawless. I don't want to see that. And that's really what I wanted to say here tonight. Like I said, I know nothing's been introduced, but I want to make sure that if something is introduced, that we keep that in mind. If we do something now, what is that set for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years from now? Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Lisa Hester, and I live at 221 North Broadway Street. I want to speak from the heart. I don't have anything prepared, but I was sitting and I wasn't going to say anything, but I feel like I have to. I raised my son here. I've been here 26 years. I wasn't born and bred here, but I love Medina. So much I raised my son here, and I stayed, and I'd love to raise his grandkids. He's 25, doesn't have kids yet. We're not pushing it yet, but, you know, I would love to raise his grandkids here. If we introduce or oppose these bills, I feel like we will open up a floodgate almost, that we will make it almost like a sanctuary city. Like we'll say to immigrants, come here, you're safe here. And then we will become a Minnesota or an LA or a New York or a Chicago. I mean, right now, Medina's beautiful, it's wonderful. We're safe, we have a great community. We don't need to oppose this thing because there's we don't need to not oppose it, sorry. But there's nothing going on that we need to, you know, call a red flag, a big fire on this. It will introduce other things that will be detrimental to Medina. It will change Medina forever. So please, think with your hearts for Medina. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Raymond Herbst. I live at 282 Highland Avenue in Wadsworth. And I want to say that I am in support of the council passing an emergency resolution opposing Ohio House Bills 2642 and 281 and Ohio Senate Bill 172. Now those bills, they are not law. I happen to have been working, I have worked here in Medina, and I was working here in Medina on 9/11. I remember the towers falling. I remember exactly, I remember going for lunch, and it seemed like the streets were deserted. And ever since that day, our country has gotten wrapped around the axle of being against immigrants, period. Anybody of any other race other than Caucasian. Now, I have worked with so many different races and persons of other nations. Genuinely wonderful people. And our country is now $40 trillion in debt. And you just think, I've brought to people's attention over the last year and a half that what was it like after the Department of Homeland Security came into existence after 9/11? We're still in the same place since the Department of Homeland Security came into existence. We have not progressed. And yet, now we are $40 trillion in debt. You know, the city of Medina and these other cities, all the other cities that are going to be asked to take on more without being funded. I mean, unfunded mandates. When I worked in various local governments in Ohio for the last 35 years total, the unfunded mandate is a real thing. And, the unfunded mandate, the debt, keeps growing. And it's not due to immigrants. With the laws, violent crime has been brought up as a subject. Well, we've had violent crime. The laws, if the laws were the same as they were in the year 2001, those are the laws that are still on the books. And the violent criminals, the police still go after the violent criminals. Nothing has changed. It's our perception. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Now, if there's anybody has anything new to say to it, we've been going about a little over an hour. I don't want to stop anybody, but if you have something new to add, that'd be great.
Good evening. My name is Kay Alexander, 966 Beechwood Drive. I am against the proposed resolution. As a former trauma nurse and emergency nurse, I know what an emergency is. This does not sound like an emergency to have something past this moment. An emergency is an event or impending event that might cause death or danger to life, health, or an imminent disaster. So with that in mind, I'm trying to figure out what the emergency is. If this concerns tonight is not going to immediately affect me or my neighbors, my neighborhood, and the citizens of this community, then it most probably is a matter of concern, not necessarily an emergency tonight. How many citizens live in Medina? 20,000 plus?
26,000.
Thank you. Do we have an equal opportunity to know the details of this resolution? What's the process for moving it forward? I don't know the exact process. You all do. I don't. But I think there's a process for these type of mandated, a small group of individuals mandating for 26,000 citizens. It's concerning. So what are the proposed actions normally that would not happen? So upholding the law equally means there is no discrimination among any citizen for our safety. And if you're the correct process, normal process, laws, constitution, ordinances, again, whatever the process is, then you're discriminating against me. Is my opinion not valued? Are 20-some, however many thousand people going to be able to express their opinions? I'm concerned about that. So are you all racist or prejudiced against me? Just asking. If you're not following the state laws, national laws, Ohio laws, ethical laws, equal opportunity laws, I'm concerned. So a small group of people are going to make a big decision for a lot of people in Medina. I see that as authoritarian, tyrannical. Mob rule can pursue preferential treatment as opposed to the Constitution, federal law, Ohio law, city law, ordinances. I oppose this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Scott Quaid, 7717 Hartman Road. I'm going to be very brief because I had no intention of speaking tonight, just came to listen. But I did hear a phrase that came up that I really feel needed to be leaned into just a little bit, and that is that we are a country of law and order, at least in theory. And I think that's important to note on this topic. There are people who are crossing the border applying for citizenship legally. There are people crossing the border applying for asylum legally. That process takes time. They are not documented citizens until that process goes through the courts, through the immigration courts. Currently, there are over 3.3 million cases in a backlog of these courts because the federal government has cut the funding for the immigration courts. The average wait time is over 3 years, which means the asylum seekers who came here legally, the other folks who came here and applied for citizenship legally, are here for an average of over 3 years without documented citizenship. Over 300,000 of them have been deported in the name of law and order. Those deportations, in fact, were illegal. They violate Constitution, they violate federal law, and because I believe in law and order, and because I believe that despite the fact that we have elected a president who has been convicted of 34 felonies in a country of law and order, I don't think it's appropriate to ask our local police departments to be complicit in the violation of law and order, which is why I would support this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Elaine Stone. I'm at 1151 North Jefferson Street, Unit 9, Medina, Ohio. Thank you for listening to us for such a long time. I'm saying something different, but I'm also saying something a little bit the same. I speak in favor of I guess it's how the resolution that says ignore the state, what they want to do, ignore what the senators have asked us to consider, because it honestly is illegal. And the primary sponsor of SB 172, which is the bill that I want to speak about, is Senator Christina Roegner, R-O-E-G-N-E-R. She's finishing her second term in the Senate, and she's currently running for Ohio Treasurer. She represents the majority of those who live in Summit County. 17,000 of those are Hispanic residents. That's about 3% of Summit County. I'm sure that they do not support this resolution. And you may say they don't support it because they're illegals. Fact is, perhaps 20% of them are illegal, perhaps. But 80% of them are not. Of all the ICE pickups in Minnesota, 20% had committed a crime. Only 5% had committed a violent crime. We're picking up people who are here legally, who are here with intentional purposes to become citizens, and the time has taken its toll on their processes. They are coming into us as workers and intentional community members. The U.S. Constitution gives federal government the power to make and enforce immigration laws. ICE and DHS are responsible for identifying the people who are here unlawfully.
and they are responsible for initiating removal through federal immigration court system. I fully support this, as I would guess everyone who is in favor of the resolution or against the resolution agrees with. I support people trying to get rid of people who are here illegally. Anyone in the U.S. without legal documentation should be arrested and deported, sorry. Current law requires that our local, and I know this is, I'm going to say local because we're local here, entities must cooperate with the federal government and federal immigration authorities. We are mandated to do that. In some circumstances, we are required to include things like exchanging immigration information on status of people and other kinds of knowledge of certain people within our county and our city. My issue with SB 172 is threefold. SB 172 requires that local public officials cooperate with federal authorities to arrest and detain. That means our police officers are going to be out with ICE agents, arresting and detaining. When they're doing that, what else are they not going to be doing? That's not what we ask them to do. They cannot also be doing their full-time job if they're out there hanging around with ICE agents. Our needs for local law enforcement will not be met. Number two, SB 172 requires local public law officials to arrest or detain anyone who is suspected. Suspected actually is the word in the bill. Suspected of being unlawfully here. I saw a couple of brown people here earlier. I think I would suspect them. I don't suspect them. That was not what you understand what I'm saying? Why would I suspect a brown person? They're no more illegal than I am. They're brown-skinned. That's the only difference. How does one become a suspect? Brown skin and speaking a Hispanic accent. Merely being suspected of a crime is not constitutionally valid. You cannot be arrested because you are suspected of anything. Number three, in SB 172, it says that the arrest and the detention can happen anywhere, outside your school, in your home, in your hospital, in your medical clinics, in your church. Anywhere. It can happen anywhere. The arrest can be done without a warrant. Without a warrant. It's in the bill, 172. This is completely against everything that the Fourth Amendment stands for. You can arrest somebody, you have to have a warrant, or you have to have a probable cause. You just can't say, you look suspicious. I am against SB 172, and I am against Christine Roegner, Roegner, and I certainly wouldn't vote for her for treasurer or dog catcher. Thank you.
Thank you. Is that it?
One more, honey, one more.
We got one more?
Yep.
Okay, one more.
Two.
Oh, you already spoke, ma'am. Sorry. You already spoke.
I'm Bill Toombs. I live at 372 Craigie Creek in Chippewa Lake, but as the city goes, so the county goes. Didn't come here with any intention of speaking, but as a longtime administrator of schools and working with high school kids for almost 40 years, I sat over there making notes, and I hope some of you are making the same notes. I really feel bad when somebody wants to compare ICE to the professionalism of our police force or sheriff's department. All you have to do is watch their operations. They don't operate the same way, not even close. The other thing, from working with people all my life, most of the things you're blaming immigrants for are done by regular citizens every day in this country. Every day in this country, regular citizens commit the same crimes, but since it's an immigrant, we make a deal out of it. In fact, I would be surprised if I checked statistics, there might be more committed by regular citizens. As a past school administrator, don't ask me to do what they're asking me to do, identify my students' nationalities. I'm not a policeman. And I dare the first school that makes a mistake and identifies the wrong nationality and turns it in. And I guess mainly, being an ex-school person, I feel for the kids that go to school every day if this law is passed. They've got enough to worry about. I still remember the day, many weeks, months, years ago, I spoke in an anti-gun, and a girl standing in front of me held up a sign and made me cry. Am I next? We have to stop to realize the pressure some of our kids are under in schools today, and to realize they could be turned in and ICE showing up to pick them up because I turned them in. And the last one was just a reaction. Could you imagine our public square with ICE officers? Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. We're going to move on. We're going to move on to introduction and consideration of ordinances and resolutions. At this time, I entertain a motion to suspend the rules requiring 3 readings on the following ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance 3626, 3726, 3826, 3926, 4026, 4126, 4226, 4326, 4426, 4526, Resolution 4626, and Ordinance 4726.
Mr. President,
Ms. Hare?
I move to suspend the rules requiring 3 readings of the following ordinances and resolutions.
Second.
Any discussion on the motion to suspend the rules? Clerk, please call the roll.
Coin.
Yes.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Isabella.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Simmons.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Ordinance 3626, an ordinance authorizing the payment of $40,000 to Main Street Medina for the city's 2026 membership renewal.
Mr. President,
Ms. Hare?
move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Mr. Shields?
Thank you, Mr. Coyne. This is our annual renewal to be part of Main Street Medina. We know we had a presentation at our last Finance Committee meeting, and I think we all feel very grateful for all the work that Main Street Medina does and all the different events that they coordinate and all the people they bring to Medina and the reputation we have thanks to Main Street. So I would encourage you to support this $40,000 contribution to the Main Street program.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Isabella.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Simmons.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Ordinance 3626 passes 6-0.
Ordinance 3726. Ms. Hare?
Mr. President, I move that ordinance 3726 be read for the first time and be placed on the floor for discussion.
Second.
Ordinance 3726, an ordinance amending section 113304 of the zoning code of the codified ordinances of the city of Medina, Ohio relative to conditionally permitted uses. Mr. Dutton.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is a request to amend section 1133.04, which would add 3 conditionally permitted uses, conference center, banquet facility, or meeting hall less than 5,000 square feet, restaurant with drive-in or drive-through, and a retail business less than or equal to 20,000 square feet in size. So these would be amendments to all properties, zone C1, and would specifically assist a redevelopment of a property on West Liberty Street and Yorktown Drive. There is a public hearing scheduled on April 13th for this application, so this is why it's on first reading. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion or comments on that? All right. Ordinance 3826, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to solicit requests for proposals, RFPs, to lease the city-owned building located at 406 South Broadway Street, Medina, Ohio. Ms. Hare?
Mr. President, move to the emergency clause is being requested. I move to approve.
My second includes the emergency clause.
Discussion both on the emergency clause and ordinance. Mr. Dutton.
Thank you, Mr. President. So this is a property that the city of Medina owns and entered into an agreement with Peaceworks in 2011 14 for a lease to operate as Spokes Cafe. It was operated since then at that location and a location at Austin Badger Park on River Styx Road. The Austin Badger Park location has been more successful. The South Broadway Street has not, and we've received other requests to lease the property from both nonprofits and for-profit institutions. So this will allow us to put out requests for proposals. Once we are obtained, we'll bring them to council to see which organization you'd like to lease to. The emergency clause has been requested as the timeline is a little bit longer than expected. So in the case of Spokes is selected to continue at the location, there will not be an interruption in their service. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And Mr. Dutton and I spoke today, and he just mentioned that the lease is up at the end of May for the Spokes, and the emergency clause is just requested to get these RFPs out there so we can get, requests for proposals back, so we have enough time to select who we would like to do, so we can commence the lease term on June 1st and not have a problem, which is perfectly fine, because we just want to make sure that we get everybody's proposal in enough time to select who we want to have as being occupant at the current Spokes Cafe down there. Is there any discussion on the emergency clause and or the ordinance? Any further discussion?
I have one comment.
Yes, Mr. Lamb.
I think it's important to understand the significance of that space. That building would have been torn down, but the city, under Mayor Hanwell and with council, determined that it was better to save the building, and with a lot of donations, private donations, and initially a lot of help from Cool Beans Cafe, it was saved and turned into an actively engaged business in a city building. And so hopefully now, as we go forward with Spokes leaving, we'll be able to do the same thing. But it wasn't just any old building. It was a pretty important house that wouldn't exist other than the former administration's work and city council's work in order to do that, and a lot of support from the community.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Clerk, please call the roll on the adoption of the emergency clause.
Hare.
Yes.
Isabella.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Simmons.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
City, please, clerk, please call the roll on the adoption of the ordinance.
Isabella.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Simmons.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Ordinance 3826 passes 6-0.
Ordinance 3926, an ordinance authorizing the public sale of city-owned real property by competitive bidding.
Mr. President,
Ms. Hare?
move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Dutton.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is a property at 410 East Smith Road, which the city purchased in 2012 and is used primarily for city storage. We've had a couple of proposals to develop it residentially. However, there have been some obstacles to development, including the Champion Creek bisecting the property, adjacent railroad tracks and substation, and difficulty connecting to utilities. As such, we've had some interest from a non-residential use to purchase the property, and council has decided that we'd like to bid it out, so anyone who would like to purchase the property is able to bid. There have been some revisions to the draft bid document to include some items, including easement language for creek maintenance and a temporary easement for a laydown yard during our East Smith Road project. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Clerk, please call the roll on the adoption of the ordinance.
Lamb.
No.
Simmons.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Isabella.
Yes.
Ordinance 3926 passes 5 yeas, 1 nay.
Ordinance 4026, an ordinance amending section 3102A1 and 3102A2 of the Salaries and Benefits Code of the City of Medina, Ohio, relative to seasonal employees for the Recreation Department and Service Department.
Mr. President,
Ms. Hare?
move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Worley.
Thank you, Mr. President. This ordinance is to broaden the pay range for seasonal employees in the department from a range of $13.76 an hour to $17.56 an hour. Employees will be placed within that pay range based on their qualifications and experience, with our goal of attracting some new hires and retaining past employees that may have some beneficial institutional knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Clerk, please call the roll on the adoption of the ordinance.
Simmons.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Isabella.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Ordinance 4026 passes 6-0.
Ordinance 4126, an ordinance repealing and replacing ordinance number 7324 passed April 9, 2024 pertaining to the Memorial Park swimming pool rates.
Mr. President,
Ms. Hare.
move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Worley.
Thank you, Mr. President. This ordinance is a request to raise the day pass individual rates for those visiting the Memorial Pool. This specifically impacts individuals that are not able to take advantage of any of the other discounts that we have, and those of the age between the ages of 3 and 59. We're also proposed a $50 increase to individual passes and family season passes, and then reflecting a change in our day pass punch card, increasing that $10. The city pool tries to balance revenues and expenses year to year, and it's become increasingly challenging, even though we have really good attendance the last few years due to the rising cost of wages and chemicals. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions? Clerk, please call the roll on the adoption of the ordinance.
Coin.
Yes.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Isabella.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Simmons.
Yes.
Ordinance 4126 passes 6-0.
Ordinance 4226, an ordinance amending and replacing section 3102E of the Salaries and Benefits Code of the City of Medina, Ohio, relative to the Medina Community Recreation Center part-time pay scale, adding Group 9 and abolishing the position of activity leader.
Mr. President,
Ms. Hare.
move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Worley.
Thank you. This request is to add a Group 9 to the part-time pay scale to be able to pay a high-level program instructor at a increased pay rate of $31.01 to $39.59. And this is necessary to attract new talent and be able to compete with other studios. I did want to note that we recoup these wages through program registration at the Recreation Center. The abolishing of the activity leader position is because there was not a job description for that position, and no one is currently employed in that.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Clerk, please call the roll on the adoption of the ordinance.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Isabella.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Simmons.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Ordinance 4226 passes 6-0.
Ordinance 4326, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept 11 easements necessary for the South Huntington Street Bridge project.
Mr.
Ms.
President,
Hare.
move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Hare.
Oh, I'm sorry. Emergency clause is requested.
My second includes the emergency clause?
Discussion on the ordinance and emergency clause. Mr. Pacoli. Is that you?
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes. In order to complete the reconstruction of the South Huntington Street Bridge, city had to acquire several easements. 6 of the property owners have agreed to sign total of 11 easements. This request asks that council accept the following easements that are listed in the ordinance. The emergency clause is requested due to the property owners signing their easements more than 30 days ago, and we'd like to get the easements recorded as soon as possible. Council previously approved the fair market value estimates for these easements on November 24th, 2025, with ordinance number 20425. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion on the emergency clause and/or the ordinance? Will the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of the emergency clause?
Hare.
Yes.
Isabella.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Simmons.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Clerk, please call the roll on the adoption of the ordinance.
Isabella.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Simmons.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Ordinance 4326 passes 6-0.
Ordinance 4426, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with the Medina County Park District pertaining to the BMW Trail.
Mr. President,
Ms. Hare.
move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Worley.
Thank you, Mr. President. This ordinance is to authorize the mayor to enter into a agreement with the Medina County Park District to provide partial funding for a trail consultant to determine a feasibility study for a recreational trail project that would link Brunswick, Medina, and Wadsworth. That's where the BMW comes in. The project budget is $180,000. It's being split equally between Brunswick, Medina, Wadsworth, and Medina County Park District. Thank you.
Yeah, it makes sense. I thought it was a car, but it's not a car. Any further discussion? Clerk, please call the roll on the adoption of the ordinance.
Lamb.
Yes.
Simmons.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Isabella.
Yes.
Ordinance 4426 passes 6-0.
Ordinance 4526, an ordinance ratifying the collective bargaining agreement between the City of Medina and Ohio and the Patrolmen's Benevolent Association for Communication Officers, authorizing the mayor to execute said agreement and repealing ordinance number 226 passed January 6, 2026.
Mr. President?
Ms. Hare?
Move to approve?
Second.
Discussion. Mayor Shields.
Thank you, Mr. President. On January 6th, we passed an ordinance where the OPBA that represents our dispatchers, our communication officers, it was a 3-year agreement on wages for 4% in year 1, 4% in year 2, and then 3% in year 3 with a 1% pension contribution. After we passed that ordinance on January 6th, it was discovered that the dispatchers were already at the max of their pension pickup, so we needed to redo this now, amend the ordinance that was passed on January 6th to reflect 4% in year 3. And I do apologize for this. It was one of those things in the transition, and I don't think we realized what was going on, and I'm sorry it has caused so much back and forth here, but this is the step to get this corrected, and I promise you we'll do collective bargaining a little different in 3 years from now. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Clerk, please call the roll on adoption of the ordinance.
Simmons.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Isabella.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Ordinance 4526 passes 6-0.
Resolution 4626, a resolution authorizing the mayor to submit fiscal year 27 congressionally dedicated spending applications as Senator Husted and Congressman Max Miller's offices.
Mr. President?
Ms. Hare.
Move to approve?
Second.
Discussion. Mrs. Marshall.
Thank you, Mr. President. This request is to authorize the mayor to submit 3 applications, fiscal year 27 congressionally directed spending applications to Senator John Husted and Congressman Max Miller offices for the following projects. We have the South Elmwood parking lot renovation project and the Medina Recreation Center turf field house expansion project, which will be submitted to Senator John Husted's office. And then the State Road Reconstruction Phase 1 project is being submitted to Congressman Max Miller's office. As I mentioned earlier, that project has been in the queue for several years. They did reach out and ask Patrick Patton to resubmit. We're also requesting, if the funding is awarded, that any and all paperwork pertaining to these grants, that you authorize the mayor to execute those documents. And the grant applications to Senator Husted are due on March 18th, and the one for Congressman Max Miller was due last Friday, so that was submitted. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion on the resolution? Clerk, please call the roll on the adoption of the resolution.
Coin.
Yes.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Isabella.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Simmons.
Yes.
Resolution 4626 passes 6-0.
Ordinance 4726, an ordinance amending ordinance number 21825 passed December 8, 2025, amendments to the 26 budget.
Mr. President?
Ms. Hare.
Move to approve?
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Durham.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you to everyone who's still here after this long meeting. This is the last ordinance tonight. This is a budget amendment. The budget amendment, there's a few items here. One is a pass-through of a donation, and the rest are involving a pay increase for the IT person at the court who's paid out of 2 different funds.
Thank you. Any further discussion on the ordinance? Clerk, please call the roll.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Isabella.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Simmons.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Ordinance 4726 passes 6-0.
Council comments. Ms. Hare.
Thank you, Mr. President. On behalf of myself and Denny, who is not here, I will remind everyone, please be kind. And in light of everything that's going on in our country, please treat each other the way you would like to be treated. Thank you.
Mr. Simmons.
With America 250, each month there's different themes going on. The month of March at the Medina County District Library, there's a traveling exhibit dealing with the First Ladies from the museum in North Canton. And so I encourage you to go and check that out. And also a shout out to Pastors Tracy and Arthur Ruffin for a wonderful Black History event down at Second Baptist Church. Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Salvo.
Sure, thanks. I just wanted to thank all the citizens who came to the meeting tonight and expressed their opinions. We really appreciate that. We'd love for you to come like in 2 weeks when we have the next meeting. That'd be great. That's it, thank you.
Mr. Isabella?
Yeah, I'll echo Councilwoman DeSalvo and Hare's, statements about thanking everybody for coming out and letting us hear what you think about a potential resolution. I don't think there was anything on the budget, but we obviously appreciate everybody coming out, so.
Mr. Lamb?
Well, I agree. I want to recognize all the people that came out, and whether you had one opinion or another, or maybe you didn't really have an opinion, it is great to see the engagement. But I also want to recognize the form of council and how it operates, because in many government bodies, that openness to discussion that we just had, with people I didn't really plan on talking, but I'm going to go talk anyway. You're not signed up. There's no limit. And, recognizing, I think, that City Council has it open like that. And when we say, well, you've got 5 minutes to talk, I have never seen anybody ever, in all the years I've been here, anybody cut off by the President of Council because you may have talked too long. And I think it's important for us as a community and as an organization that we recognize that openness and the availability of this place to come and talk and speak your mind and share it with City Council. Because we aren't mandating one thing or another without some input and logic and concern and consideration of how the community feels. It is important to us, and it's important to the administration. So I appreciate that and want to recognize Council for that openness to have this. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you. And if everybody wants to come every meeting, maybe we can get like cookies and coffee or something.
I have Girl Scout cookies
that may be
right here.
That may be a good idea. I mean, I think that we do that. But I want to thank everybody for coming this evening. And since my last name is Coyne and St. Patrick's Day is coming, I just want to wish everybody a happy St. Patrick's Day.
What does that have
Meeting
to do with
adjourned.
St.
Be safe.
Coin is...